Hello, everyone. You're listening to Unlocking Greatness Podcast with Z. This is going to be a short episode, I think I'm going to call it Let's Talk Business episode. You know how we always, and it's not a bad thing, we want to seek advice from God, right? Nothing wrong with that. And we don't want to, in many cases, at least in my case, share my dream, my vision with too many people at all, because I don't want people trying to talk me out of the dream or vision God gave me, and I want to protect it, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes there's wisdom in that, just to be honest with you. But sometimes there's an imbalance. And what I mean by that is there's a good balance of we want to make sure that God is our strategist. He's our CEO. That's how I run my company. You're the CEO. You're the strategist. You tell me which way to go. You know, I want my input to come from you, God, right? Nothing wrong with that, right? But sometimes we miss out on one important thing. God works through men. He works through other. When I say men, that's a general term for men and women, because in the Bible, that's how it's spoken. But God works through men. He works through other people to give us wisdom, advice, and to counsel us. And we have to not be closed off to that. So if you find yourself being the smartest person in the room at all times, you may have a problem on your hand. You know how some of you, and I know at times I've been in those roles where most people are coming to you for the input, coming to you for the advice. You're doing a lot of the pouring and not so much of the getting. Does that make sense? If you find that defines your life, where you, at least I should say, feel like you're the smartest person in the room, and maybe that's a little arrogant to say it that way. The point I'm getting at is when the majority of the wisdom and the knowledge and the instruction, that's a better way of putting it, is coming from you, and you're not getting much input from those who may know more than you or see things from a different perspective, you may have a problem on your hand. You can be limiting your growth. There could be blind spots and things that you're not seeing. Remember when we talked about Moses in Exodus 18? Remember we talked about how his father-in-law came to visit him and how Moses was standing as judge before the people all day and night. And his father-in-law was like, what you doing? That's not good. You need to appoint some people and delegate some people to do some of this stuff so that they can only bring the tougher cases to you. Remember that story? I love that passage because Moses really is the one that had all the power and authority. And yet his father-in-law was visiting. And yet his father-in-law gave him some advice that changed the entire way that he was doing things. Sometimes that wisdom and that advice may not come from people we feel are in a higher position or higher power or have more authority. And we have to be open. We have to be wise, because I do not believe in getting advice from everybody. But we have to be open, have our spiritual eyes open to God. Who are you putting in my life that may have some nuggets for me, that may be able to show me some things that I'm missing out on? The Bible says in Proverbs, and let me just see here. I think it's Proverbs 15:22. Proverbs 15:22, the New International Version says, plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors they succeed. Now, there's a whole lot of passages in the Bible on plans failing and seeking advice, seeking wisdom. But plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed. Now, that's interesting, isn't it? So let me just tell you briefly what happened to me today. Not what happened, but what occurred. I was praying before God. There's a couple things going on behind the scenes that I feel like God has put it in my heart to do. I feel like I have a few blind spots in a couple areas. And as I was driving into work, God put in my heart to call this one person. And if he listens to this podcast, he's probably going to laugh. Obviously, I own a staffing agency, and this young man that I called anybody not in their 50s young, by the way. But anyway, I called to get some wisdom and advice. And he is a recruiting manager, recruiting supervisor at another company, actually a company that's like a competitor of mine, but I'm very good friends with this company, great friends with the president. Anyway, the bottom line is this. God put in my heart, how about you call him and seek some advice? And I had the best conversation with him. And I've known him for years, by the way. And I just explained to him kind of the setup and what I had going on and just to get some input from his perspective. And I kid you not, what I thought would be a 10-minute conversation, we ended up talking a very long time. The advice and the wisdom he gave me was unbelievable. He showed me some blind spots. You would think after almost 32 years in this industry that I would know it all, right? He showed me some blind spots and some things I didn't even see. He talked to me about some systems and things that I can implement, some applications that I can implement and things I can do to make the process easier. And I won't go into the details, but but when I got off that call, I said, God, thank you. Thank you, one, that you've blessed me to be humble enough to go out and get some advice from someone that let's just say he's not a president, he's not a CEO, but I respect his opinion. And then yesterday, same thing. I had a talk with someone else, more of a consultant in that case. And there were some blind spots, some things that was pointed out. So you all may not see what goes on behind the scenes, but I'm always trying to seek a little bit of advice from somebody I feel that either knows more than me or that can show me my blind spots. Does that make sense? So I just want to encourage you with this. If you feel that you've not been growing, like you want to go, or there's something off, you can't quite put your hand on it. And I know you're praying all the time. I get it. And I know God speaks to you and he's the one directing and guiding the whole thing. I get that. But be open to seeking some advice. It's okay to get some advice and get some help. The other thing that I want to challenge you on is, who are you surrounding yourself with that knows more than you in the particular direction that you're trying to head? Get yourself in the room with people who either know more than you or who can help, what is the word I'm looking for? Point out those blind spots that you may be missing. Now, some of you may say, well, Z, that's not easy to do. I don't know anybody. I totally get that. And I would say in that case, ask God to open doors, to open your eyes and send you your helpers. What you all don't know is sometimes at night, or a lot of times, I'll hold my hands up to God and I'll say, God, send my helpers to me. Send me my helpers. Because there's a number of things going on in the background, some things I'm thinking of, some things I want to do, some things God has put in my spirit, such as start having some live webinars where I can see your faces and doing some things. I'm like, God, send me my helpers. Send me my helpers. So I just want to encourage you. Seek advice. Seek some wisdom. Think about who are the people you surround yourself with. Ask yourself just in this last several months alone, who have you been getting advice from or wisdom from or hanging around, or someone that's showing you some blind spots? And sometimes it can come from the person you least expect that has that information. Sometimes it could be the person you least expect. I'm sure Moses did not expect that his father-in-law was going to give him some advice that would change his life. I'm sure he probably thought, here he is coming to visit. Hey, I'm a hot shot. Well, maybe I shouldn't say hot shot, but you get my point that, hey, I got all these people following me. These people are coming up to me for me to judge their cases. And my father-in-law's off here to the side. I'm sure he didn't think one bit that this man was looking at something from a whole unique perspective to help him. And yet that's what happened. So could it be possible the very person you need to get advice from is right in front of you, right next to you? You work with that person, or it's one of your neighbors or somebody at your church. Just seek some wisdom and advice. The Holy Spirit will give you a spirit of, will give you discernment. I know when I'm getting some advice and I'm like, not following that. But I also know when God is giving me what I call a golden nugget. So anyway, I love you all. I love you. I love you. You know I do. And the whole premise of this is seek some advice. It's okay to do that. Don't pride yourself on, I hate to say being the smartest person in the room. I should say don't pride yourself on thinking you're the smartest person in the room. Okay? I love you all. This is Z. Bye-bye. Hello, everyone. Thanks for listening. This is Z with Unlocking Greatness Podcast. Please don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and the notification button. Love you all. Bye-bye.